Hello Data 620, this is Group 5's Week 6 assignment. We did this in a Jupyter Collab notebook so that we could write code together, which is actually really convenient. And today we are looking at the Davis Southern Club Women dataset, which is an 18 by 14 binary dataset that looks at attendance data from 18 women and 14 different social events, where the 1 will indicate that the woman attended the event. And so what we did was we used Matplotlib, NetworkX, NumPy, Pandas, and URLlib to recreate the data set and sort of just analyze this data. What we did was we brought in this file into our notebook, we cleaned it up, and created the graph data set from it, and then projected it to a by-agency matrix so that instances in which a woman attended the event, it would bring it into it would project it out so that we can actually analyze this two-dimensional data, so that it would only be in one dimension. And so what we did was we created this graph using the data, and what we can see, we can tell sort of like a lot from this graph actually. I think that one of the clearest things is that event 8 really sort of almost brings two groups together. And it seems that a lot of women actually attended this event. What we also did was we took this data, we also cleaned it up, put it into GitHub, so it would be really, really clear to analyze. And what we did was we created a graph from it, looped over the lists to get a counter, and essentially created this graph that would have all of the women on one side, all of the events at the other side, and you can see how many women, sort of very clearly, what events these women went to, and what events had the most women. So you can see even here, event 8, event 9 sort of really stand out as really key events that brought in a lot of women. While some of these women also attended a lot of events like Teresa, Nora, Evelyn. Those seem to be ones that really are in high attendance within the social club. We did the same thing for just the women, just to see which women sort of attended the same events as well. This seems really sort of hard to analyze, and so I really like this one here. You can sort of even see that there seems to be a couple of clicks. That's sort of what I'm seeing in my brain, that there is one group of women that maybe attend events together, and there's another group of women that attend events together. So you would see one group around Evelyn, for example, and Brenda and Teresa, and another one around Nora, Dorothy, maybe. These women, I can almost see that they are friend groups that like to go together because they show up in a lot of the same events. So what we did was to analyze this data set further is we created we calculated the betweenness centrality, the closeness centrality, and the communicability betweenness centrality of each one of these nodes. Essentially, these nodes calculate pretty similar variables, but the equations are a little bit different. But the general idea is that it identifies the shortest paths between all the different nodes in the graph, and it counts the number of times that one of these nodes was in that shortest path. So it would sort of indicate that these were really important to keeping the group central and together. And so the higher the number, the higher the centrality value of it is. And so we graphed it just to sort of see very clearly which women or which events were really central to the health of this social network. And so the one that really speaks out to me, like we were talking about before, was event 8 and event 9. I also see Evelyn here, Nora here, Teresa here as well. And so those are the women that really seem to be most important to the health of the social circle. Those were the events that were most useful to the circle and really brought them together.